Hello guys, my name is Georgia and welcome to my YouTube channel. And if you've never seen my face, I make fitness content and I also live in Thailand, Bangkok, so you'll sometimes see some travel vlogs from me as well. I also post workouts for you to do as well, but today we are going to talk about common ab mistakes I see all of the time. So if you want to make the most out of your training, stick with this video and I got your back. I will also show some examples of ab workouts I see people do incorrectly a lot of times. So the first mistake I see is people just ripping it out without actually looking at the movement. So you want quality over quantity, and sometimes this is so hard for people to actually do because it really requires some patience. If you're just trying to get as many reps as possible without looking at your form or actually focusing on the muscle you want to contact, you are just wasting your time and not actually going to reap the benefits of your training. You want to make the reps count and slow down the movement. Another one I see is people don't focus on their breathing. A lot of my clients actually stop breathing and they hold their breath while doing their reps and they get exhausted and basically gasp for air at the end of the workout, and this is just going to steal from your workout. It's just going to make you exhausted way more quickly than it should, and you want to send oxygen to your muscles. Another one that kind of fits in with doing as many reps as possible is using momentum in your training, and this again is just stealing from your training because you are not actually doing the workout. You are getting help from momentum and you are not going to see results in this way. And again, you want to slow the movement down and really focus on the muscles that you want to use throughout this workout. If you want a fiery, fast-paced workout that is going to up your heart rate, cardio is going to be the best option for this. But if you actually want to target your muscles, get stronger, build muscle or tone, you want to slow the movement down. You want to keep the movement controlled. And another tip I want to give is stop doing abs before going into a heavyweight training or a heavyweight workout. We need a lot of core stability when we are doing heavyweight movements such as squats, deadlifts and hip thrust, and when you are pre-exhausting those muscles, all of the other muscles are going to have to step in and help. It is good to maybe do a few reps of ab workouts just before doing these heavyweight compound movements, just to warm up the abs so that they can help during the movement, but you don't want to really go full out and exhaust those muscles. So if you want to target your abs, do that afterwards. Another big one I see a lot, and this counts for every other workout out there, is doing the full range of motion. When you are half ripping, you're wasting your time. Again, you are not going to see progress doing this. And again, you really want to contract and focus on that specific muscle you want to work. You want to build mind to muscle connection and you want to move with intention. So if you don't know any of the muscles in your body, it is a good idea to kind of get to know them so that you know exactly what muscle you are working during a movement. So if you want to target your abs, you don't just want to rep it out, use momentum, or even allow your hip flexors to do all of the work. Let's take a look at the forearm plank, and you can see here my bum is way too high, and so all of the weight is going to my upper body and my upper body is doing all of the work. So you want to lower that bum, but here you can see my lower back is way too arched, and so my lower back is doing all of the work here and not my core. So you want to tuck the tailbone a little bit by squeezing the glutes, and here your core is going to be engaged and my neck and spine are staying straight. Let's take a look at lying leg raises, and here you can see I'm just repping it out and my hip flexors are doing a lot of work because my lower back is arched once again. That takes all of the pressure out of my abs and onto my lower back and hip flexors. So you want that lower back always flat on the ground, keeping the movement movement slow and controlled, and I promise you, you're going to feel it in the core. Lowering the legs and stopping when it is comfortable for you. Another tip is to lift the head to target the core even more. With the jackknife here, you can see I'm creating a lot of momentum with my hands, so this takes away from actually engaging the core. My lower back is also arching, but you want to keep it flat on the ground. You really want to focus on engaging the core and keeping it engaged, and really trying to keep this movement as controlled as possible. This is probably the one I see most often. So again, I'm creating momentum with my hands. The weight of my hands are basically pulling me up, and I can just do this forever. So you really want to focus on engaging the core and just using the core to pull you upward. It also helps having something to keep your feet in place. And you want to keep this movement controlled throughout the entire movement, meaning up and down. With these Russian twists, you will see me half repping, and I'm basically just moving my arms and not really my entire upper body. So with this, you want to keep that core super stable, and you want to move the entire body using the full range of motion here, keeping the entire trunk stable and not arching that lower back. Slow and controlled. I also made this mistake in the beginning of my training because it just made sense to use both muscles at the same time so you can spare some time, but the weights are basically just balancing each other out. So you want to do one at a time, and you will really feel the difference here, using the core slowly to pull it back up and down, keeping it slow and controlled, and only going as far as is comfortable for you, keeping mindful of that lower back. And for assisted leg raises, I see a lot of people just swinging their legs up and down, and again, using momentum, it's not really going to do anything. So again, you want to keep that lower back on the pad, and you want to slow down the movement. It is hardest at the top, so you can even stop for a split second, and you can see by my face I am feeling it. And as always, keeping the breath controlled. If this is too hard for you, you can use one leg at a time, just alternating them slowly, or you can even bend your legs. With the cable crunch, you don't want to jerk like this, so this is not very safe, and I'm also using a lot of arms to help pull the weight down, and it just looks very unstable. So slowing down the movement, crunching that core, and just using the core to pull it down. You can see my head is kind of moving towards my knees. So the last exercise I want to show you are decline sit-ups, and here you can see again momentum. My arms are jerking up, and you can see my lower back is also arching, taking the pressure off of my abs and onto my lower back. So your head does not need to actually touch the bench. You want to keep the engagement throughout the entire movement. You don't have to move right to the top. So go as low down as is comfortable for you, as long as you are not arching the lower back. So if you are someone who wants to have flat abs, I'm sorry to say that spot reduction is not a thing. So for example, if you are doing crunches every night before bed expecting it to burn belly fat, that is just not the way it works. Your body loses fat all over, and you can't choose, I want to lose fat that is here on my arm, so I'm going to do some tricep extensions. That is not how it works. You can't magically burn away that area of fat, and doing certain workouts for that is also not going to work. So working out is there to make you stronger, build the muscle, but if you want to lose fat, you're going to have to look at your diet. So you are going to have to go into a calorie deficit, which means you are eating less than you are using during the day. And a lot of people think, okay, no, I have to cut out all sugar, all carbs. I have to do a ton of cardio. I have to work out every single day, and that's not really the case, and that is not something that you will be able to stick to for a very long period of time until it gets really boring, it feels like a chore, and then you're just gonna give up, and at the end of the day you lose. So that is like a whole other video in of itself, but the things that work best is you want to keep moving during the day. So you don't want to sit for hours and hours and hours without actually getting up and moving your body. We are not meant to be sitting for hours and hours, but a lot of us have a job that requires us to do so. So whenever you can, whether it's in your break, just stand up and walk. You can also do a quick yoga session in the morning before you go to work. You can even do one before bed, and obviously get your workout in during the day as well. But make sure you're doing something that you love and you're not doing it to punish your body. And another thing is stop overeating or having to feel like you have to finish your plate of food, because your body shouldn't replace the dustbin. And if you're full, stop eating. Either throw the food away or keep it for later. Stop eating past fullness. And remember, there will always be food at your disposal whenever you want. You will never ever starve unless you are placing that restriction on yourself and telling yourself that you are not allowed to eat this. And so it is also very important not to starve yourself. So a lot of people think they go all out and they say, okay, I am just going to eat this and this and this, and if I'm hungry, I'm hungry, as long as I can lose some extra pounds. That is going to backfire on you. And being in a calorie deficit does not mean you have to starve yourself. It is also important not to just follow anyone else's calories, because you are your own person. These are based on your height, your age, your gender, how much movement you're getting in the day, if you're doing workouts, and all of that jazz. So if you're just going to follow someone else's calories, it's not going to be accurate. So if you want to lose some fat, being in a calorie deficit is going to be the best way to do that. And having a low body fat percentage is going to allow you to see your abs more clearly, because we all have abs. There's no one on this planet who does not have abs. You just need a lower body fat percentage to be able to see them, and you actually have to build your abs. I can't actually see. You actually have to build your abs and do workouts so that they can pop like that. I have an abs workout coming up next week, so don't miss that. Subscribe to my channel, maybe give this video a like, and I got you for next week as well. Thank you so much for sticking around. I hope you learned something out of this video, and I will see you next week for a fiery ab workout. Bye!